You've been walking around a strange neighborhood all day, going door to door trying to sell the latest line of Lamex Spooky Town porcelain houses. You walk up to another house to knock on the door, but before you have a chance to knock, the door slowly creaks open, and inside is a seemingly infinite pitch-black hallway. Staring into the darkness, you see this ghostly white figure start to emerge from down the hallway. As the figure gets closer, you hear the neighbor from across the street yell out to you. You turn around and he tells you that the house has been abandoned for years and that nobody lives there. And when you look back, the figure's gone. Tonight, I want to talk to you guys about some of these strange and unexplained things that have happened to door-to-door salesmen. Back in Ohio of 1978, a vacuum salesman was going door-to-door selling vacuums. When he knocked on the door of this farmhouse, he was greeted by this smiling couple with 2 children. They invited him in, offered him tea, and listened to his entire pitch without speaking a word. When he was finished, he asked the couple if they had any questions, and they just stood there completely still and silent, smiling at him, wider and wider until their faces looked inhuman. Frightened, the man excused himself and left, and the next day when he returned with his supervisor, the house was completely boarded up and abandoned, as if nobody had ever been there to begin with. So I don't know if the director of that movie Smile and Smile 2 watch my videos at all, but if you do watch, that might be a good idea for a prequel. Back in Fresno, California in the year 1993, there was this door-to-door insurance salesman that had this daily route in a local neighborhood. Every day this man would drive by this house on his route, and he would notice this old woman in a white dress stare at him from the top window of a house. Every day when he drove by, he noticed that the woman never moved, blinked, or reacted in any sort of way. So one day he was naturally curious, and he stopped and knocked on the door. An elderly man answered the door, and when the salesman told him about the woman that's staring at him from the upstairs window, the man had said that he lived alone and that his wife had died in that very room 12 years ago. If I died and my soul was forced to stare out of a window for all of eternity, I would hope that it's a good view, but with that being said, I'll probably try to die at a drive-in movie theater or something. Back in 1965 in rural Kansas, this Bible salesman was going door to door, and he was invited into this barn by this soft-spoken farmer to, quote, see something amazing. When the salesman walked into the barn, he claimed that the wooden walls were expanding and contracting as if the whole barn was breathing. The farmer claimed that the barn had been expanding for years, as if it was growing on its own, and this frightened the salesman and he left immediately. Apparently years later, the barn was struck by a bolt of lightning and burned completely to the ground. So I don't know if that story's true or not, but it kind of reminds me of that book, A God of Hungry Walls, which is a book about a haunted house, but written from the perspective of the house. So, pretty cool book. Back in Alberta, Canada in the year 1999, a magazine subscription salesman was invited into the house by a pale woman in a bathrobe. When the man walked into the house, he claimed that the living room was filled with this cold, thick white fog, even though it had been a hot summer day. From what I read, the woman kept whispering in the man's ear, "Don't let them see you. Don't let them see you." And this frightened the man, and he left without even trying to get a payment subscription from her, which can't really blame him for that one. Back in Arkansas in the year 2008, a solar panel salesman was walking up to a house and noticed 3 identical black dogs sitting perfectly still in the driveway. As the man was walking up to the door, the dogs just watched him. They didn't growl, they didn't bark, just stared. When he got up to the door, a woman through the protection screen said, "If you talk to them, you won't ever leave." and when he looked back, the 3 dogs were gone. If I had to bet any money, I would say that this woman talked to the dogs first, and she was somehow trapped there for all of eternity. And the last one I'll talk about tonight comes from an encyclopedia salesman going door to door in Oregon in the year 1998. An encyclopedia salesman was going door to door trying to sell his books, and he approached this old, isolated house. He claimed that the man that answered the door had no face, just a smooth, featureless surface where his eyes, nose, and mouth should have been. He claimed that this creature's cheekbones moved as if it was trying to smile at him from underneath the wall of skin. The man ran away terrified without selling anything, and later found out that that house had been abandoned for over 10 years. So if you guys ever feel like working as a door-to-door salesman, just be aware that you might encounter some strange paranormal or unexplained occurrences. And I just wanted to say a big thank you to all the people that subscribed and watched and liked the video. It means a lot to me. I never thought that people would actually watch these videos, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.